everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. This is Vdiffuser. In our last episode, we got Edgeworth cleared of killing Robert Hammond, but he confessed to being the killer of the DL6 incident. We're going to prove he isn't. I'd like to resume our trial. Judge, Miles Edgeworth has admitted his own guilt. He's confessed his crime. Let us begin by hearing his testimony. Then, through pointless, let the defense do their cross-examining. The statute of limitations on the DL6 incident runs out today. Though it's unconventional for me, I'd like to run this one by the book. Does the defense have any objections? No, Your Honor? Well, Karma, you knew this was going to happen from the very beginning, didn't you? Excuse me. Will Miles Edgeworth take the stand? Will the witness state his name and profession? Miles Edgeworth, I'm a prosecuting attorney. Mr. Edgeworth, 15 years ago you mistakenly killed your father, Gregory Edgeworth. Is this correct? It is correct. Then testify about this matter to the court. When Edgeworth was telling me about his dream yesterday, I noticed something. One detail doesn't fit. That'll be the key, but only if I can get it to work. Please, please. That day I'd gone to the courtroom to observe one of my father's trials. As we went to leave, an earthquake struck, trapping us in an elevator. My father and Mr. Yogi lost their composure and began to argue. Just then something heavy fell at my feet. I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted to stop them from fighting. A moment later, there was a single gunshot and a scream. It was a terrible scream. I remember it to this day. That's all. That's it, a single gunshot, huh? We were stuck in that elevator for 5 hours. The oxygen in the elevator ran out and I lost my memory of the events. Ah, the same claim Yogi made. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. It's time for us to press that last detail, the single gunshot. The gun fired once? Yes. I think after I threw it, I lost consciousness. Since then, they've echoed in my head every day. That gunshot and that horrible scream. The scream. It was a terrible scream. I remember it to this day. Oh, really? Are you sure you only heard one gunshot? Yes, I'm sure of that. I heard the shot and the scream. Then everything faded. I was unconscious till the rescuers came. I see. No, Your Honor. Unfortunately, you don't. Look at this file one more time. This plainly contradicts the witness's testimony. You do enjoy dragging out that file, don't you? I don't accept this evidence, unless you can tell us what page it's on. Which page contradicts Miles Edgeworth's testimony? Victim data. Look at the victim data in this file. It says it quite plainly the murder weapon was fired twice. Miles Edgeworth only heard one gunshot. Yet the murder weapon was fired twice. The first shot was the accidental firing when the pistol was thrown. So who fired the remaining shot? Was that perhaps another shooter who fired that second shot? Gee, I wonder. Your Honor, as I'm sure you're aware, this incident occurred 15 years ago. The evidence is dated. The pistol did fire twice. However, we do not know when that second shot was fired. It might have been fired the day before the incident. There's no proof that the second shot had anything to do with this incident. What? I see. You do have a point, Mr. Wright. The murder weapon was fired twice, as we've heard. One of those shots was fired by the defendant, a boy at the time. Do you have any proof? Yeah, we do. Your Honor, I think you'll be able to show you that proof. What? Impossible! Now, Mr. Von Karma, save your surprise for after you've seen the evidence. Show us the proof. The DL6 incident photo. Look at this photograph. This is a photograph of the scene of the crime 15 years ago. I can see that the victim lying there is Gregory Edgeworth. This proves the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. This photo proves it. So let me get this straight. This photo proves 2 shots were fired. Where? Your Honor, please, get a clue. We have a freaking hole right here. As should be obvious, the contradiction's here. I see a bullet hole in the door. Your Honor, Gregory Edgeworth was killed by a shot from the pistol, yet there is a bullet hole in the elevator door. We know that the murder weapon was fired twice. Thus, someone other than Edgeworth fired that second shot. Order! Order! Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? It's simple, Your Honor. At the time of the incident, 2 shots were fired. One went into Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other hit the elevator door. Remember that the defendant lost consciousness after the shot rang out. In conclusion, we must agree the second shot was fired by somebody else. Who could that someone else be? The murderer, of course. I knew I should have stepped in before your wild fantasies got out of hand. Mr. Wright, look once more at the DL6 incident file. Look closely. Try the case summary page. Look what is written there. Not a single clue was found on the scene. If the pistol had indeed been fired twice, then the other bullet would have been discovered on the scene. He has a point. That second bullet has never been found. Why? Because the second bullet doesn't exist. The bullet that claimed Gregory Edgeworth's life was the one fired by his own son. That is the truth of this matter. The whole truth. It was undoubtedly something else that made the bullet hole in the door. Order! I will have order. Mr. Wright has proven one thing to us clearly, that the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. However, as Mr. Von Karma says, a second bullet was not found. It's highly unlikely that the police merely overlooked the second bullet. So, all we have is a single bullet fired. I'm afraid I have to discount the defense's claim. I praise the judge for his wisdom in this matter. How did this happen? I don't believe that the second bullet didn't exist. Was I wrong? Have I been wrong about this whole incident? What are you doing, Nick? Why aren't you raising an objection? I'm sorry, Maya. It looks like I was wrong. If the second bullet wasn't there, then all my conjectures are for nothing. No! You said you do it, Nick! You get him declared innocent! I'm sorry. When I saw the photograph, I thought the 2 shots had been fired. I was so certain of it. I thought I'd won. I thought there was another person, someone else, who fired the killing shot. I was wrong to think it could be that simple. The case has stood unsolved for 15 years. Let's see, there's that. I would like to ask one thing of Miles Edgeworth before passing my verdict. Have you been paying attention to the trial so far? Yes, Your Honor. Do you have any objections? No. I do not. So you killed your father, though that was not your intention. Yes, I did. Oh no, he's accepted the guilt. Very well. The statute of limitations on the murder of Gregory Edgeworth runs out today. Therefore, I pronounce the verdict on the defendant today, right here, right now. Indeed. Does anyone have any objections? There's so many things I know I should be saying, but my mind's gone blank and I can't find the words. I have an objection. I object. Mr. Wright, on what grounds do you object? Nick, I don't know. His case is perfect. It must exist. The second bullet... What did you just say? The second bullet must exist. Someone took it. Wait, Your Honor! The second bullet existed. But we've just heard proof it doesn't exist. I realize that, Your Honor. I'm grasping here. It's someone took it from the crime. That's what happened. Who? The murderer! The murderer? Then tell us, who is it? I'm still thinking about that one. But why? How would they have found it? It's not easy to find a stray bullet, Mr. Wright. Okay. The murderer didn't need it. Why would the murderer have to spend time looking for the stray bullet? I haven't got a clue. The murderer had no reason to take that bullet. You don't want to admit it, but it's true. He had to take it. You're thinking too normal. Think crazy. Don't think why the bullet was taken. Think why the bullet had to be taken. I have no idea what I'm doing. He had no intention of taking the bullet from the scene, but he had to take the bullet. For instance, maybe the bullet hit the murderer. The bullet hit the murderer? Just saying, for instance. I mean, if it hit you, you'd have to take it with you, wouldn't you? It's not like you could perform surgery right there. You know? Wait a second. I was just talking off the top of my head, but what if that's what really happened? Let me get this straight. So at the time of the murderer himself was shot. And they left with the second bullet still inside of them. Thus leaving only one bullet at the scene of the crime. Yes, I guess that's how it would work, yeah. But there's a problem with that. The other two people rescued from that elevator, Miles Edgeworth and Yanni Yogi, were both unharmed. So that would mean the murderer came from outside, yes. The two men fight inside the elevator. Trying to stop them, the boy picks up the pistol at his feet and throws it. The pistol discharges and the bullet goes through the elevator door and hits the murderer outside. The boy loses consciousness. Then the murderer opens the elevator door and sees the men inside. Mr. Wright, you're truly the most unpredictable defense attorney I've ever known. I can tell you're grasping, yet I cannot deny the possibility of what you say. What are you saying? Deny it! Deny it! No one involved with the incident was wounded. There is no murderer. No one was wounded, huh? What about you, buddy? Nick, I thought of something really crazy. Remember what Mr. Grossberg said yesterday? Yeah? It was a shock for Von Karma. He took a vacation for several months after that. An unusual event. That was the last vacation he's ever taken. Which means, what if Von Karma didn't take that vacation because of shock, but because he was injured? Which would mean, it could only mean one thing. He was the murderer in the DL6 incident. He was the man who shot Gregory Edgeworth. It was Von Karma! Oh man. You seem dazed. Well, you have indicated the possibility. Can you give us the name of your suspect? Say it now. Your Honor, there is a suspect. One lone suspect. Well, this is certainly interesting news. Name the suspect. I can't say it. What? Von Karma! Von Karma? You mean the Von Karma, the prosecutor? The one standing right over there? Ah. You don't object. I see no need. Why honor this ridiculous outburst with my objection? Because you took a vacation for several months starting the day after the incident. Yet you pride yourself on a perfect record. Why would you take such a long vacation without any reason? So you're claiming I took a vacation to heal my injury from the incident. Fascinating. Prove it. I would have needed surgery, no? Where did I go under the knife at, Mr. Wright? Bring the doctor that operated me. Have him testify. Nick, let's find out who his doctor is. It's no use. I know Von Karma, perhaps too well. He's perfect. He wouldn't leave clues. He probably didn't undergo surgery. That would leave a doctor as a witness. Nobody's that perfect. Did he pull it out by himself? That's insane. No, he couldn't have. It's still in there. Well, Mr. Wright, can you produce evidence to prove I was shot? Oh, damn straight I can. All right, Von Karma, I'll prove it. I'll even use evidence. I know how much you like it, so. What? The evidence that proves Von Karma was shot is the metal detector. Lo and behold! Von Karma's perfect. He wouldn't risk surgery leaving an evidence trail. So then I ask, where's that bullet now? I think it's unlikely Von Karma performed surgery on himself. He ain't that perfect. You don't mean... I do. There's the possibility the bullet's still inside him. Is that even possible? For all these years? Well, there's one way to find out. We could use this metal detector. Well, Von Karma, I'm gonna run this over you and see what we find. Oh, he's sweating. I refuse. You refuse? But refusing this means you acknowledge the bullet's still inside you. Order! 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 Your Honor, the defense requested we be allowed to use the metal detector. Judge, I call for a suspension of this trial. This is an invasion of privacy. The statute of limitations runs out on this case today. It was you who said we had to end it right here, right now. Enough! I permit the use of the metal detector. The judge has finally had enough of you, Von Karma. Mr. Von Karma, you will submit yourself to testing. What does this mean? I don't know, but we have to give it a shot. And there it is. Something's in his right shoulder. The bullet. Mr. Von Karma? It was you! I was afraid this would happen, and so I remained silent. Indeed, there is a bullet in my shoulder. However, it has nothing to do with this incident. Are you sure about that? I was shot in the shoulder long before the DL6 incident. Liar! I claim that the bullet in my shoulder has no relation to DL6. Guess what, buddy? You're wrong, buddy. Prove? I have no obligation to prove anything. It's Mr. Wright who must prove something here, not I. Oh yeah, I can prove it. Of course you can't. You don't have any of the DL6 evidence. That's because you took it out of the records room yesterday. With no proof, you cannot convict me of any crime. So sorry, Mr. Wright. No, I'm the one who's sorry, Mr. Von Karma. What? You were close, one day away from freedom. You see, I have proof. What? Who would have thought you would dig your own grave trying to convict Edgeworth? I can link that bullet to DL6. And here's my final proof. The bullet from the DL6 incident. Gotcha! That's a bullet. Where'd you get that? This is a bullet used in the DL6 incident. This was taken from the heart of the victim, Mr. Gregory Edgeworth. The bullet's preserved quite nicely with all the ballistic markings intact. Ballistic markings. You may recall the term. It came up in the first trial 2 days ago. Ballistic markings are the fingerprints of a weapon. All bullets from a gun are marked with that weapon's unique pattern. By examining the markings, you can tell which weapon fired the bullet. It's quite accurate. We have 2 bullets in our possession. One, the bullet removed from Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other, Mr. Von Karma, is in your shoulder. We can analyze both bullets. Then if the markings matched, we would know both bullets have been fired from the same gun. Ha ha! Checkmate, buddy! The very same pistol. In other words, the murder weapon that killed Gregory Edgeworth. Mr. Von Karma, you will let us remove the bullet from your shoulder. Then we'll compare the ballistic markings to this bullet. And solve this case once and for all. Well, Mr. Von Karma? No! That scream! I've heard that scream before. You're into opera a little too much. Wait, I know. Help! I can't breathe! Quiet, I said quiet! You're not making this any easier. Stop breathing my air! I'll stop you! Stop breathing my air! Get away! Get away from my father! Oh! It's that scream I heard in the elevator. Oh, come on, it wasn't that bad. 15 years ago. Von Karma, it was you who screamed! Mr. Von Karma? Ah, Edgeworth! Edgeworth! Only you would dare defy me! So it was you! You and your father are my curse! Your father shamed me with a penalty on my record! And you left a scar on my shoulder that would never fade! I'll bury you! I'll bury you with my bare hands! Death! Death! Oh, he's gone from opera into death metal. 15 years earlier, oh god, I have to do Von Karma and I have to do the chief prosecutor. Chief prosecutor, I'm sorry. Von Karma, it's not like you to make this kind of error. You smoke 50 packs a day, I smoke at least 100. I never would have thought that Edgeworth would be the one to catch you. I was careless. I'm sorry, but you'll have to be penalized. I've covered for you in the past, but not this time. Hey! Edgeworth! It was a shock the none I've ever known. Me? Penalized? It took hours for me to regain my composure. Jeez, this guy is a sore loser. Suddenly I found myself in the darkness. I was in the court records room. I must have wandered in there without thinking where I was going. The room was pitch black. The lights must have gone out. I went out into the hall and found my way into the elevator. I pressed the button, but nothing happened. Then, there was a noise. I was in pain! A horrible burning pain in my shoulder! Just then the lights came back on. The elevator door opened before my eyes. I saw 3 people inside, all lying unconscious from oxygen deprivation. Much to my surprise, a pistol lay at my feet. I knew then it was destiny. In his last moments, Gregory Edgeworth was still unconscious. He died without knowing who had shot him. Later he spoke through a medium blaming Mr. Yogi. He was fooled! It was the perfect crime. Who would have thought another man would have come to open that elevator door? Judge! What? What are you doing? Do your job. Bring an end to this miserable charade. Now! End it! And with that, Manfred von Karma leaves us. It appears that we have come a very long way to the end of this maze. 15 years later, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, yes, Your Honor, you were innocent. You are innocent. As you said, it was all a nightmare. Yes, Your Honor. This courtroom finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, not guilty. And we reached the original ending for this game. That is all. This court is adjourned. Nick, we did it! Did you see his face? Von Karma looked even paler than usual. Of course. He gets the freaking death penalty after this. He's pretending to be all cool, but inside you crushed him, Nick. Crushed! I gotta say, I'm impressed. It was pretty close, though. I was sure we had it. I know, I was on the verge of tears the whole time myself. But now it's all just a good memory. So it's finally over, Edgeworth. Right. Yeah? I'm not sure how to say this. I know. But thank you. I see. Thank you, Wright. You're welcome. I think you could have done better than that. Maya, you are pressing your luck. You got a lot to learn, Edgeworth. She's got you there. Woo! Amazing, pal. You pulled through just like I thought you would. I'll never forget this. I owe you one, pal. Tonight, let's party. Dinner's on me. Yeah, my salary went down a bit this month. But who cares? See, Mr. Edgeworth, you should take a lesson from Detective Gumshoe. That's how you say thank you. Ahem. I see. Ahem. Whoop! I feel foolish. Don't worry, take it a little at a time. You'll get used to it. It's been 15 years since I've seen Edgeworth this unguarded. Hey, y'all! Lotta! Y'all were great in there. Thank you. Yo, Edgeworth, congrats! Thank you very much. Thank y'all very much. I knew you were innocent from the start, of course. Just look at you. You want to stick your hand in the cookie jar even if no one was there. You were the witness on the first day of the trial, weren't you? Yeah, well, let bygones be bygones, eh? Speaking of which, what are you doing now, Lotta? Who, me? Oh, I went back to college. I gave up trying to be an investigative photographer pretty quick. Really? That's too bad. Huh? Ain't that with the hot dog guy from the park? It's over, Nick. My life's over. He got dumped again, didn't he? I'm not long for this world. You didn't look sick. It's Beyonce. She's going to live in Paris, Nick. Paris! She's leaving me behind. Oh, Larry. Should have seen that one coming. Yo, Edgy, there you are. Yes, here I am. Congrats, Edgy. Here, a little gift from me in celebration. Celebration? That's unusual for you. Harry Butts, you come along tonight too. My treat, pal. Thanks! Looking forward to it. Yo, no, Nick. That's a suit that questioned me. When he says treat, that's not police talk for prison food, right? Right? I think you'll be fine, Larry. Right. That envelope that Larry gave me, it's got money in it. That's not that strange. People give money away to celebrate sometimes. It's $38, right? That's a weird amount. It's not a little. It's not a lot. 38 exactly? Nick? Wasn't that exactly the amount of lunch money that was stolen from Edgeworth in school? 38? No! Larry, it was you! What are you so surprised about, right? Huh? Larry was absent that day from school, right? Well, that doesn't automatically rule him out as a suspect. What? Think back to that day 15 years ago. Larry took the day off, but he was bored, so he came into school anyway. Then he saw the money lying there, and the rest is history. I never was good at history. Edgeworth? You didn't know, did you? I suspected. I just couldn't picture Larry protecting you like he did that day. Everyone else was saying you did it. The whole class was against you, remember? Yeah, too well. Right, you may not know this, but we used to have a saying back in school. When something smells, it's usually the butts. I know! Really, Wright, I'm surprised you didn't figure it out. Well, this is sure an unexpected turn of events, eh? Edgeworth? You should have told me! Now, Nick, it was 15 years ago. Don't you think the statute of limitations has run out, Mr. Edgeworth? I'd say so, yes. There you have it. Where does that leave me? I became a defense attorney because of what you two did. Well, you've always been something of an insufferable emotionalist. Yeah, you get worked up too easily, too. Death! The death sentence for both of you! Man, if only I'd known I'd become a prosecutor! The same goes for me, only the other way around. For the longest time, I thought that I might have killed my own father. I thought I might be a criminal. I'll become a prosecutor in part to punish myself. If I'd known the truth, I might have become a defense attorney after all. Edgeworth, wanna switch, right? Hey y'all, line up and take a photo. Photo time, let's go. And after that, dinner on me. Detective Gumshoe took us out on the town that night. We celebrated Edgeworth's newfound freedom, even though Edgeworth himself was still in detention. Whoa, I went a little overboard yesterday. My head hurts. It's still only 5. I should go back to sleep. What's this? A letter? Good morning, Nick. You were really impressive yesterday. Seeing you, it made me think about what I'm doing here. I have this spirit medium in training, of course. I wanted to help Mr. Edgeworth too. I wanted to help you. But I couldn't. I was useless. So I decided to go back to my training. I'll become a full-fledged spirit medium for starters. I couldn't say it to your face, so I left this letter. Goodbye, Nick. Goodbye? What time is it? The first trains for the mountains have left already. To the station! Guess I'm too late. Hey! Nick! Maya! So you're leaving? Yeah, it's hard being a spirit medium who can't talk to spirits. And I think you'll do fine without me, Nick. No, we won't! Be good, okay? Wait! I never could have saved Edgeworth without your help. Huh? On the last day of the trial, I heard her. I heard Mia's voice. You heard my sister? Yeah, only her voice, but still. It was at the very end when I thought we'd lost everything. Well, that's my sister for you. Detective Gumshoe helped, and Grossberg, and even Larry. I'm the only one who couldn't. I was useless. No, you weren't! You stopped Von Karma, Maya. I didn't do anything. All I did was wander around in a daze. I have evidence you helped. Damn straight. A bullet! Von Karma was convinced he'd taken all the evidence pertaining to DL6. But you were the one who rescued the last piece of evidence we needed. This was the bullet that put an end to Von Karma. And you were the one who gave it to me. Nick. Thanks, Maya. I couldn't have done it without you. I'll be back soon. Huh? I'm going to complete my training and come back. Okay, I'll be waiting. Of course you will. You can't run that office by yourself. You're hopeless. I don't know about that. This is it. See you soon, Maya. Thanks, Nick. And so my story ends. Time to turn a new page and say goodbye to the novice defense attorney that I once was. Now a new story begins. With the same old crazy cast of characters. Don't think you've graduated yet, amateur. Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to rethink that claim? Yes, Your Honor. Uh-oh, got a bad feeling about this. Alright with this. This is the original finale of the game. But we're not done yet. We still have episode 5 to go. Hey pal, Mr. Edgeworth came down to the precinct to wish me a happy new year. Talk about a pleasant surprise. Woo! Detective Gumshoe! Then he hung his head and low and went right back to outside. Kinda like he was embarrassed or something. Strange, eh? Alrighty, we got that. Huh? Nick? Nah, haven't seen him lately. Who, me? I've been working at a cheese shop. That Missy's a nice lady, but she's not exactly what you call a cheap date. Oh, she's in Hawaii right now, yeah. Larry, you never change. Who? Wright? Yeah, I remember him. I hear he's been busy lately. You know not to ring my own bell, but I taught him everything he knows. I'm sure he's grateful. Yeah, right, buddy. Phoenix Wright. A defense attorney for whom I wrote that affidavit for, yes. Oh, you should know, I've taken over management of the Gatewater Hotel recently. Should you be in the area, please stop by. Alright. It's gone pretty well so far. There's you. Phoenix Wright? Ah, yes, me as understudy, was he not? I wonder how he's doing. Haven't seen him of late. Ah, the days of my youth. Like the scent of fresh lemon. You see? Trust me, this next case is going to be very, very long. Phoenix Wright? Is he an actor? Well, I'm not buying it. You can't be a star with a name like Phoenix. Do you know that they're finally putting some of him? Well, at least Hammer's getting a new life after he died. I'm pleased to announce The Pink Princess is a hit. I sure owe that Mr. Wright a great deal. Oh, and I'm keeping my face out of the public eye till the show's over. I wouldn't want to ruin any kid's dreams, you know. Oh, I got a letter from Maya the other day. Sounds like she caught a cold standing under a waterfall. I wanted to visit, but didn't have time, so I sent her some Pink Princess cards. She says she can't buy them where she is. What kind of place is she living at, anyway? A place where you can't get cards. Right? Who's that? Want to talk? Let's talk Pink Princess. Alright? But, you know, I snuck into the studio the other day, and I saw her, the one inside the Pink Princess stooped. Ugh, what a dog! It was kind of a shock for a boy at my tender age. Yeah, I bet you wanted it to be Maya, or Mia. Tch. Yeah, I remember, right? That lawyer guy. Me? I'm in training to become a paranormal photographer. You know that picture I took of everyone? Well, just behind them, there's a ghost. For real? Now that's talent. I'd be famous. Yep, there's Mia. And there's the original thing for that. But we're not done yet. Number 5, Rise from the Ashes. See you guys next time. Later.